How do we get ready for humans on Mars? The thought of humans on Mars is no longer a figment of science fiction, but a very real possibility. In fact, space agencies around the world have set their sights on the red planet as the next major destination for human exploration and habitation. But before we can even begin to think about launching humans to Mars, there are a few crucial steps that need to be taken. In this blog post, we'll explore the first steps needed to prepare for humans on Mars and how this exciting adventure could become a reality in the near future. What will it take to get there? The journey to Mars is a long one, and it will take a great deal of planning and preparation in order to make it successful. Firstly, the spacecrafts must be built with reliable and efficient technology, so they can travel the long distances without any problems. To do this, the most advanced materials and designs must be used. On top of that, the spacecrafts must also be designed to shield passengers from the harsh environment of space. The craft must also carry enough fuel and supplies for the astronauts on board. This includes food, water, air, and other necessities that will help keep them alive during their lengthy journey. Additionally, the craft must also be equipped with proper navigation equipment, so they can accurately plot their route through space and arrive safely at their destination. Finally, the spacecrafts must be equipped with the right propulsion systems that can get them to Mars at a relatively fast speed. This requires advanced propulsion systems such as ion thrusters or other advanced forms of rocket propulsion. These propulsion systems will ensure that the astronauts can reach Mars in a timely manner and have enough energy to complete their mission. How do we prepare for the journey? Preparing for a journey to Mars requires a lot of planning and preparation. For starters, astronauts will need to be physically and psychologically prepared for the trip. Astronauts will need to be in peak physical condition, as the extended period of weightlessness in space can take a toll on the human body. Astronauts will also need to go through extensive psychological training to prepare them for the isolation and lack of contact with other people that comes with living in space. The spacecrafts themselves will need to be equipped with all the necessary supplies needed for the journey, from food and water to medical supplies and spare parts. The spacecraft will also need to be outfitted with the latest technology for communication and navigation, as well as with shields and other protective systems designed to keep the astronauts safe during their travels. Finally, the spacecraft must be tested thoroughly before departure, in order to ensure that everything is in working order before they leave Earth. In addition to the physical and technological preparations, it is important to consider the cultural and psychological aspects of a mission to Mars. Astronauts will need to be familiar with Mars' geography and topography in order to successfully traverse its terrain and explore the planet. They must also be knowledgeable about Mars' history, as it is possible that some ancient artifacts or ruins may be discovered during their mission. Furthermore, the astronauts should also have an understanding of the local cultures on Mars so that they can interact with them respectfully and without any misunderstandings. Finally, it is important for the crew to establish ground rules for living on board the spacecraft during their journey. This includes rules for communication between crew members, how to divide up duties and tasks, how to resolve disputes, and how to manage stress during long periods of confinement. With all of these preparations in place, astronauts will be ready for the incredible journey ahead of them to the red planet. What will be the biggest challenges? The biggest challenge facing a mission to Mars is that it is an incredibly long and difficult journey, one that will take over 6 months in total. This means that the astronauts would have to endure a long period of isolation and confinement. Additionally, the environment on Mars is much harsher than what we're used to on Earth, with temperatures ranging from -125 to 32 degrees Fahrenheit, no atmosphere to protect against radiation, and lower gravity. The technology required to make such a long journey possible also poses a significant challenge. We'll need more advanced propulsion systems than what we currently have. There are many other obstacles as well, such as the risks associated with landing, including air pressure, gravity, dust storms, and other weather patterns. We'll also need to develop ways to sustain astronauts' physical and mental health during the extended trip and stay on the red planet. Finally, there is the challenge of finding the resources necessary for life on Mars, including food, water, shelter, and energy. All of these challenges must be taken into consideration when planning a mission to Mars. What will life be like on Mars? Mars is an inhospitable planet, with an atmosphere composed mostly of carbon dioxide and no protection from dangerous levels of solar radiation. The temperatures range from -140 degrees Celsius to 20 degrees Celsius, and there is almost no water or oxygen. Despite these challenges, plans are being made to send humans to the planet soon. Living on Mars will involve adjusting to many different environmental conditions and living in extreme isolation from friends and family. Life support systems must be designed and implemented to ensure that the astronauts have access to air, water, and food. Radiation protection also needs to be taken into account. Astronauts will need to wear special suits to protect them from both the harsh environment and the lack of oxygen. The first mission to Mars will likely be a research mission, so astronauts will likely be expected to carry out experiments and observe the environment. There is a lot to learn about the planet, including its geology, climate, and possible past life forms. Astronauts may also be sent on missions to explore caves or collect samples of rocks and soil. Although it will be challenging to live on Mars, it will also be an incredible opportunity for scientific research and exploration. Humans will be able to gain new insights into the nature of our universe and make great discoveries about our place in it. Life on Mars will certainly be an experience like none other.